Yes, sir. We have been through the designation.
First Circuit Court is now in session. You may be seated.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Ready for the first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. We call Mr. Peskin, West End's representative, please.
Okay.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Sir, what's your name, please?
My name is Neil Peskin.
Would you spell your last name, please?
P-E-S-K-I-N-D.
And you're the representative here for West End, is that correct?
Correct.
And you're a lawyer, right?
I used to be a lawyer, yes.
Well, you're still a lawyer, you're just not practicing actively, correct?
Correct.
Let's talk about Now, this is a photograph of the Marriott at Nashville, over there right next to the Vanderbilt campus, correct?
Correct.
You're very familiar with this hotel.
I am.
You've been there many times before.
I have.
And there are 307 rooms in this hotel.
That's correct.
And that's the number that was there in 2008.
Agreed.
11 floors?
11 floors, yes.
Could be a battery dead in this. Oh, there we go. Now, Marriott International was the franchisor in this situation in 2008, correct?
Correct.
The owner of the hotel is one of the defendants, which is West End Hotel Partners, LLC. Is that right?
That's right.
So the owner, West End Hotel Partners, LLC, was the franchisee, right?
Correct.
And we're going to be talking now about the year 2008 as we go forward, explaining to the jury the different roles and who these two defendants are that are connected with the hotel. All right?
Okay.
Now, there was a contract between Marriott International and we'll call West End, that long name, just we'll call them West End to keep it simple, all right? And West End had the obligation and responsibility to manage the hotel pursuant to the contract. True?
I don't believe we have the obligation to manage the hotel.
Well, we'll come back to that in a minute. To fulfill his responsibilities to the franchisor, West End hired a hotel management firm. True?
Correct.
And that management firm is the defendant, Windsor Capital Group Incorporated. True?
Yeah, the spelling is incorrect, but yes, the entity is true.
All right, West End was the owner. Windsor was the operator. Can we refer to these two people, these two corporations that way?
Certainly.
Okay. And they have a contract between them, right?
Yes, there was a management contract.
So West End owned the hotel alone for itself. True?
Hotel alone for itself. West End is owning it for its partners.
For its purpose.
For its partners? Excuse me.
Okay, all right. Well, there are several partners that are part of West End. True?
True.
And Windsor Capital managed the hotel for West End. True?
True.
And money would flow between West End over to Windsor, and West End would send, Windsor would send money to West End.
True.
It's very basic. A hotel cannot function as a hotel without staff.
I agree with that.
And the staff of the hotel includes all kinds of employees, front desk agents, right?
Correct.
Housekeeping, true?
True.
Hotel general manager, daily operations manager,
All true. Yes.
maintenance and engineering,
True.
marketing and salespeople,
True.
food and beverage,
True.
bellman,
True.
conference staff.
Agreed.
Now, all these employees that were performing these hotel functions in August of September 2008. Who paid them for their work at the National Marriott?
Windsor.
All those staff people, the employees, were employed by Windsor and paid by Windsor in August and September 2008. And they acted within the course and scope of their employment for Windsor. Is that right?
They acted for Windsor. I can't say each and every employee acted within the scope of their employment, but yes, they were paid by Windsor.
When they're performing an authorized hotel function, they're acting within the course and scope of their employment.
True.
Now let's go over some of the language from the contract between West End and Windsor. And the reason we're going to have to do this is West End has denied that Windsor was its agent in this lawsuit. True?
True.
So West End is taking the position in this case that Windsor was not our agent for those things that happened in this case, right?
Correct.
Let's look at some of the language in the contract that was signed by a representative of West End and a representative of Windsor, all right? Number 3, Exhibit 2, please. Can you make that bigger? Okay. A little bigger. Here's a hotel management agreement between Windsor Capital Group Incorporated, one of the defendants, true?
True.
And West End Partners LLC, one of the defendants, true?
True.
Windsor Capital Group is a Colorado corporation and will be the operator under this agreement, right?
Agreed.
And West End Hotel Partners is a Delaware limited liability company, true?
Yes.
And it's the owner. Okay. Next. That'd be Turk. Exhibit. Deliberation made, that first section up there, please, Jason. Manager acknowledges, is that on that form? It's, okay, let's start right there in the middle of that paragraph. Manager acknowledges and agrees. Manager, right there, let's highlight that. Keep going to the end of the sentence. Now, manager refers to Windsor, right?
Correct.
And in this document, it's acknowledging and agreeing that throughout the term of this agreement, it's acting for and on behalf of the owner, West End. Is that right?
That's what the highlighted language says, yes.
And not on its own.
No, I don't believe that's true.
With respect to all duties specified in this contract. Is that fair?
No, I don't believe that's fair.
Okay. That's what it says there.
I agree with the highlighted language, yes.
Okay. All right, go to the next one, please. bring that up. Highlight that. All commercial space shall be leased on terms and conditions. You see that? Jason, there you go. And you see that language that's been highlighted?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next section, please, Jason. 5.04. You see the subject, I'm going to bring that up good. Subject to the owner's prior consent with respect to any senior executive personnel positions. Look for such policy shall be subject to owner's approval. Respect to the people who would work for Windsor, the hiring of those people was subject to the owner's approval. That's what this document says. True? Can you highlight that, Jason?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question?
Just read the language right before. Highlight operator shall consult. Jason, go right up a little. There you go. Highlight that, all that language there. Have you read it to yourself?
Yes, I've read the highlighted language.
All right. So the operator, that's Windsor, will consult with the owner of West End regarding the numbering categories of supervisory and executive employees. And as part of the annual plan and annual budget, operators shall adopt personnel policies concerning wage and salary guidelines, benefits, severance, job description, staffing requirements, and other policies governing hotel employees. That language is in the contract.
Yes, I see that language.
Training of employees. Operator shall provide training which the owner deems appropriate or is otherwise required under the license for all hotel employees. That's in the contract.
Yes, I see that language.
And 5.04D, describe the general manager, and then it shall do highlight the first sentence there, please, Jason. The general manager, it says, shall be selected by the operator, subject to the prior approval of the owner, not to be unreasonably withheld. That's what it says, right?
Yes, sir.
And you did approve the hiring of the general manager for this hotel, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
go to 9.01. Language is in the contract. It talks about bank accounts. And under this, put that subject to revocation at the sole discretion. Highlight that. There you go. I'll get to that. Okay. That language is in the contract too.
Yes.
Let's go to section 703. The first sentence, highlight that, please. This talks about the budget. After a proposed budget is submitted, a business plan for the next operating year, the owner, West End, shall either approve or reject any such proposed budget and business plan within 30 days after the receipt of it. That's in the contract.
Yes, it is.
Now let's go back to the PowerPoint. By the way, did Windsor get paid by West End a certain percentage of the monies that came into the hotel?
Yes, they did.
So all monies that came into the hotel, Windsor would get a share of that.
Yes.
And in addition, West End would pay Windsor a fee each month.
No, they took their fee out of the receipts of the hotel directly.
You think they took the fee out of the monies that were part of the percentage they got?
For example, their fee was 3%, so if the hotel got $100, they would keep 3 and give 97 back to the owner.
Maybe, have you read your deposition recently?
I reviewed it, yes.
You recall saying in there that they got $60,000 a year, some type of fee, regardless of the 3%, $5,000 a month?
Yes.
Okay, so that was in addition to the other part.
Yes, the management fee is not the only fee they received.
All right. Now, this language is in the contract also.
Correct.
And what you all were saying in this contract, you were declaring in the contract, you were agreeing that Windsor would be an independent contractor and an independent consultant. True?
Correct.
said in this document, nothing in this document, and this is fancy legal language, shall constitute or create a relationship of principal and agent between the owner and operator. All right?
Correct.
That's what y'all said. So, principal is the person, higher up, the corporation, that contracts with somebody else to be an agent sometimes. You're familiar with that contract law.
Agency? Yes.
Yes, agency. You all were trying to create the impression in this document by agreeing that Windsor would never be West End's agent.
We weren't trying to create an impression. We were trying to establish the boundaries of the relationship between West End and Windsor.
Now suppose there was an agreement that went something like this. The parties hereby agree and promise to each other that the attached document Exhibit A, incorporated herein by reference, shows an American bald eagle. All right, that's some good legal language. And you all signed that, both parties signed it. I'm not going to put up the next slide to be funny. I'm going to put it up so we can all remember this issue later in the case. But you could declare that Exhibit A is an American bald eagle. And there's Exhibit A. And it would be for a jury in a lawsuit involving two defendants like they are here to decide what was that really going on. Was it a bald eagle or was it a duck? You understand that as a lawyer. It's up to the jury to decide whether or not Windsor was the agent. You understand that, don't you?
I understand somebody has to decide what the nature of the relationship was. Independent contractor, principal, and agent. I'm a little confused by the duck versus eagle. I'm not sure who's deciding whether it's a duck or an eagle.
But in this contract, the manager, that is Windsor, acknowledged throughout the term of this, it's acting for and on behalf of the owner's interest and not its own with respect to all duties. That language is in there. True?
True.
So in its role as the managing company for the National Marriott Hotel, Windsor acted on behalf of West End in 2008.
I disagree with that.
Windsor was authorized, that's an important word, authorized by West End to perform the daily management and the running of that hotel. True?
True.
And when it carried out those duties that we just talked about, running that hotel on a daily basis in August and September 2008, West End had authorized it to do those things, and those things that they did were necessary to run the hotel. True?
Yes.
Now I'd like to mark the contract, move for submission and evidence of the next. That's all I have now.
slide or up to council, the picture of the hotel.
Sure.
I think that was part of it.
Sure.
Mr. Peskin, what I'd like to do with you is have you walk us through a hotel such as this, how it works, and what the relationships are, and not look at a few sentences out of a long contract, which will be made available for the jury. But I'd like you to walk us through and help us understand this. This hotel, I'm assuming counsel let me lead to this portion, they don't. Please let me know. This hotel is here in Nashville, right?
Correct.
It's over on West End Boulevard,
Correct.
West End Avenue. Where on West End is that?
It's actually located on the campus of Vanderbilt University, 2525 West End.
Counsel asked you whether West End owns that hotel. Does it?
West End owns that hotel. It owns the hotel. It's subject to a ground lease in favor of Vanderbilt University.
What does that mean?
But the ground is owned and controlled by the university, and the actual property located on top of the ground is owned by West End.
So the ground that the building is on is owned by Vanderbilt University.
That's correct.
This is on the Vanderbilt campus.
Correct.
Explain how a building owned by you ends up on a campus such as Vanderbilt University.
West End, with our partners, went to Vanderbilt and negotiated a ground lease to try and build a hotel. Vanderbilt had come to various people in the city and asked that a hotel be built on their campus. And with our partners, we submitted a proposal. We were chosen and hired a contracting firm and built the hotel.
When was that?
The ground lease, I believe, was signed in 1996 or 97. The hotel construction started in 1999, I believe, and the hotel opened for business on, unfortunately, September 10th, 2001, the day before 9/11.
Do you know why Vanderbilt wanted to have a hotel built on its campus?
It is for the use and benefit of their students, the faculty, the staff, prospective students who want to come and interview needed a place to stay, and Vanderbilt was interested in having a nice hotel as part of their university experience.
Now you talk about West End. West End was given the contract by Vanderbilt, right?
Correct.
What is West End?
West End is a partnership, a limited liability company.
And Mr. Kennard had talked about it, that a Delaware Limited Liability Corporation, right?
Correct.
But who is West End? When you say it's an LLC, what does that mean?
Who is what? I mean, I would say the only person in West End is me. I'm the only representative of West End. It has two partners. One was our construction partner based out of Atlanta who actually built this hotel, and the company I work for based out of New York is more an investment partnership for people looking to invest in real estate.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a second. So in terms of employees of West End, how many are there?
Zero. There are 0 employees at West End.
Then how do you fit in West End?
I work for a company based in Denver, Colorado, and I'm hired to oversee this hotel.
Who else is involved in overseeing this hotel other than you?
Representatives of the management company that we hire.
So with respect to the entity that owns the hotel, the building itself, not the land, but owns the hotel, who are they?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Sure. The entity that owns the hotel, the building, who are they?
West End Hotel Partners,
Right.
LLC?
Who makes up West End Hotel Partners? How does that come about?
West End Hotel Partners was created by our parent company in New York. It is principals of the company that I work for in New York, and we solicit investment from various investors who want to make investments in real estate assets, both apartments, hotels, office buildings, any type of real estate investment.
So why would a person want to invest in something like a hotel?
Traditionally, it's corporate investors or pension funds or other sophisticated investors. Sometimes they invest in stocks, sometimes bonds, sometimes real estate, sometimes mutual funds. You have to diversify your investments and lessen your risk.
So in 2008, the owners of this entity that owned the investors in the entity that owned this building sitting on top of Vanderbilt's land, who were they?
Predominantly public pension funds.
What is a public pension fund?
A public pension fund is
No,
a...
this is going too far and it's irrelevant. The defendant is West End.
I'm going to sustain the objection. We've gone far enough on this issue.
I'll move on, Your Honor. So you've talked about that West End retained then a management company under a management agreement that counsel has marked as an exhibit in this case.
Yes.
Let me ask you some questions about that before we get into the agreement. Who is Windsor and how do they fit in with West End?
Windsor's the management company that oversees the day-to-day operations of that hotel. Marriott International and all hotels restrict who can manage their franchised hotels to a specific list of qualified people, and Windsor was on that list, and we hired them to operate the hotel on our behalf.
So why was Windsor retained to do that versus West End doing that?
West End has never managed a hotel. We're not on the approved manager list. We had a relationship with Windsor. At one point, Windsor managed 22 hotels for us and thought they would do a good job at the hotel here at Vanderbilt.
So a public pension plan doesn't manage a hotel?
No, they do not.
So why did you pick Windsor specifically to manage this particular property?
In 2008, we had a corporate relationship with them. We asked them to manage quite a few hotels and enjoyed the relationship of working with them.
And how was it that they came to be involved in this particular property on Weston Avenue?
We solicited them to make a proposal and hired them and signed that management agreement.
What happened next?
They replaced the existing manager, they hired all the employees, they instituted their policies and procedures and training and assumed responsibility of day-to-day control of the hotel.
Was Windsor a Capital Group the first manager at that property?
No, they were not.
Who did they replace?
A company called Interstate Hotels.
Do you know the date that Windsor came to manage the property?
Not without looking at something.
By looking at this document, can you tell when they became the management company of the hotel?
They became the manager effective September 1st, 2006.
Now, counsel had asked you a question. You can testify that you don't think it's fair when counsel told you that this was an agency relationship. Why don't you think that's fair?
The first sentence in this agreement, section 3.01, states the opposite. I think clearly. We appoint them and employ them as an independent contractor and an independent consultant to do their duties, not as our agent.
Why would you do that?
It's a critical legal distinction. If they're our agent, anything they do is attributed back to us. So if they were our agent, if one of their employees went and committed a traffic accident, those people could come back and sue us. Or they created, one of the employees committed a criminal act, or anything that any of their employees did could be attributed back to the owner. We don't take that risk in this hotel, we don't take that risk in any hotel, any real estate investment. Those people act for themselves, they're responsible for themselves, and we retain the obligations as an owner, not as an operator.
Now, counsel, counsel had talked to you about paragraph 5.01 as well, about the right of West End under the that particular paragraph. The last sentence in that paragraph, what does that mean?
So probably the most important thing that Windsor can do is operate the hotel so it stays affiliated with Marriott. We want to be part of the Marriott family with their reservations, with their accounting systems, their reputation as Marriott. So the most important thing that Windsor would do is manage it in accordance with Marriott standards so that we can keep our hotel as operated as a Marriott hotel.
What does that mean? What can Marriott International do?
They can claim our hotel is non-compliant and take away our, what we call flag, or our ability to stay a Marriott hotel.
What would that mean if that were to happen?
That would devastate the value of the hotel. We couldn't take Marriott guests. The hotel is looked less favorably, and we'd have to go find another brand and try and operate as a new brand, which is a very, very costly endeavor.
Talking about training of employees, counsel has talked about that as well. What does West End do with respect to the training of employees that work at the hotel property?
West End does nothing.
The employees that work there, who are they with respect to West End?
We have no relationship with the employees at the hotel. West End does
Who
not.
are they employed with?
They're employed by Windsor.
With respect to the hotel itself, what are some of the things that the hotel does here in Nashville?
What does the hotel do?
What are some of the things that hotels involved
Objection irrelevant.
Sustained.
Did Windsor Capital have any role within West End other than managing this property on West End there at the Vanderbilt Marriott?
No.
I have no further questions.
Nothing further.